Okay, we're going to take another shot at this King's Gambit. This is another old one. 1813 in England, so pretty old. So, here we go. E4, E5, F4, now you get the King's Gambit. He takes, brings the knight up to prevent him going any further. G5, back his pawn up, as we saw before. And bringing the bishop out. Seems to be a common theme. Attacking that F7, we saw that already. Fianchettoing, however you pronounce it, the bishop onto a G7. This time it's not even bothered to protect. Pawn attacks the back of the pawn chain. Goes forward, brings the knight up. So we're seeing the same theme. I know that knight's got to be coming down to protect that pawn, otherwise you're going to have that pin. Yep. See, same thing we saw in the other game. Obviously these guys have seen these games, they study them, they know what's going on, the same thing. We had that pawn line that we saw before, which is really quite odd to see, I mean visually. Certainly no pawn chains happening. And then we have the knight on C6. I believe that's slightly different, so we have a slight difference already. Brings pawn and protects so against the bishop. Looks like he's a little more conservative this time, or whoever this guy is. Well, it's the same guy, William Lewis. Bringing the knight across. So he lost last time. He's want to see how he can improve his position. He's attacking that bishop. Bishop comes back. You want to get it, that's fine, but you're going to be taken back by the pawn, releasing his knight. Not his knight. His rook. Takes it. Oh, interesting. About the queen. Interesting. Well, why not? Why not? Get it outside the whole pawn chain, freeing it up, still attacking at F7. Interesting. So he can't really move that knight on H6, or you'll see. Actually, it'll be M8 at that point. So he definitely doesn't want to do that. That would be a quick game, wouldn't it? 10-move game or 11-move game. So attacking that knight, get it out of the way. Taking that. So far we still have some of the earlier themes where we see they attack that knight with that, and then there's nowhere the knight can go. And instead of trying to voluntarily get out of the way there, he attacks the pawn with his bishop. So that's that much is the same as the other game. King comes forward to activate the rook behind him, I'm sure. Bringing it forward. Interesting. Didn't even take that knight. Why didn't he do that? I'm uncertain. I guess that's what makes me an amateur. Why would he have done that? And I can see why he wouldn't want to take the pawn, but why wouldn't he want to take that? Oh. What an idiot. Well, this is why he didn't. Let's go back. The reason he didn't take here, let's pretend we have a little, because this would have been tech. He would have pinned the king and the queen and would have won a queen out of it. Nothing can take him. King would have had to move out. He would have had a queen. My goodness. What an idiot I am. Okay, so that's why he moves forward. Oh, actually saved your knight there. But the other guy better not move the black guy better not move, or it's mate again. So anyway, moving it up. What's he doing that for? What's he doing that for? Certainly not a silly check that's no good. Is he opening something up? He just castles, activates the rook. That's okay. Brings the queen down. You can attack that, so he can probably just bring his pawn up or something. So why does he do that? Puts him in check. Take, check. Moves the king out. Why? Oh, well, I guess the only reason he wouldn't just take that is because he got the bishop hanging out on there. So he had to move somewhere. Couldn't have moved down because of the knight. I guess that's as good as anywhere. Just hide behind his pawn. I can see that. So G3 is the next one, as you see. That's protecting the pawn that was just under attack by the queen, as we saw. Queen goes up there. She's not going anywhere. The only thing she'd be doing is attacking that pawn. So, but it's being protected by the bishop, so he's going to do something. He's going to probably have to do something to attack that bishop. Yep. development move so that the rooks are connected. And is that what he's doing? Interesting. If he comes down there... What's he doing that for? Why would he move the rook there? Unless he's moving the rook down. And he's willing to sacrifice the rook for the bishop? That doesn't make sense. Protecting the pawn. Interesting. See, as an amateur, I would have done something silly like that to dislodge that knight. And then I could have... Of course, maybe that's why. Because I'm an idiot? Interesting. Because then he would have pinned that. But he could have brought this. He could have brought this over or down. So I'm not sure why he would have done that. I'm still trying to figure out what he's trying to do with that rook. I mean, I could take a peek over to the right, but I'd rather just try to figure it out. So he's bringing that up to protect a pawn. Oh, I guess he could try to... But there's no knight up there to hamper in that rook, so I'm not sure why he would do that. He would just move the rook over to the other side. So, and now he's got that out of the way. Now what's he doing there? Sure be a nice place to have a bishop protector instead of a queen, then you can just bring that knight up there. Taking the pawn. What's he doing that for? Wow. So he brings that up. And then he just goes ahead and the sacrifices these guys made in those days. It's just astounding. And why didn't he take them? Why doesn't he take them? There's nothing to prevent him from taking that knight. I just don't understand. And what's the point of that? I don't understand that. And he goes down there with the knight. Okay, I'm not sure what they're doing with these things. This is what is so confusing. Well, it could be trying to move that knight down to e4, threatening that g5 knight. So if he takes advantage of the pawn, takes with the rook. Interesting, I don't know. Maybe he's threatening that pawn at the same time. Interesting. Okay, so queen comes up, check. So why didn't he take that already? Obviously this is a site I don't see. So put it in check. He's got to do something. He's got to move over to the right. Because he could move that over one. He's not going to take that bishop. He moves that. Okay. Alright. Oh, wow. A nice little pin happening here. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Trying to pin the rook and the king. I don't know. I can't believe black wouldn't see this. And there he goes. Attacking the bishop. I can see that. Attack the king anyway. What's he doing that for? Move in there. Well, you know, this would be a nice place for that. Oh, this would be a great place if the knight went down to e6. And that's exactly what happens. Why? Because the king's being attacked and so is the rook. King's being double attacked, both by the knight and the queen. So what's he going to do? He can't get rid of both. He's got to move the king. Take the rook. He doesn't take the rook. Interesting. Why doesn't he take the rook? Well, he's going for the mate. Got to check. And that's the mate. That's the answer to that question, isn't it? Interesting. I think it's kind of a sloppy game, actually, by black. Should have won. Should have been able to protect a little better than this, but... Interesting. Wow. Just sort of hampered him. Anyway, that's all. Thank you.